Greetings, my name is Dave Syme. I am a securities attorney and I am also a partner in Tartan Capital Advisors, which is a FINRA registered investment advisory. Today's topic is, what is a hedge fund? It's a kind of a mysterious concept to people. They've all heard of them, they're in the news, but it's not many people have understand exactly how they work or what they're all about. It's interesting that a hedge fund is basically not much more than a bank account that holds cash. So you might take 100 or 500 different companies, entities, individuals, whatever, and they all make an investment into a hedge fund. Now, those people that invest have to be what's called accredited investors. These are basically wealthy people or enterprises. You have to have certain net worth requirements or certain income requirements. For example, for a married couple, you have to earn more than $300,000. For an individual, you have to earn more than $200,000. You have to have more than $1 million in assets over and above your personal residence, et cetera, et cetera. So because of that limit, that only wealthy people can invest in it, the SEC has made the decision that they don't really want to regulate hedge funds. Their attitude is, if these people want to invest their money and they want to lose it, they're not going to be on welfare. They're not going to be a problem for the government. They're not going to, be destroyed. They're wealthy people. Theoretically, they're sophisticated. They probably have attorneys or accountants representing them. And if they want to invest in crazy stuff, fine, let them. So as a result, hedge funds are actually very interesting animals in that they can invest in collector art. They can invest in used cars. They can invest in derivatives. They could take bets on a Las Vegas poker game if they wanted. There's almost no limit to what a hedge fund is allowed to invest in, and they sometimes invest in some pretty wacky stuff. The word hedge is an interesting thing right there. I'll tell you what that's about. In the Middle Ages, if you had a piece of property, say 5 acres, and it was considered vulnerable to attack, you weren't defended. So what you would do is you would plant hawthorn, thorny hawthorn, all around your property as a hedge. And those hedges would be like 4 or 5 feet thick and 8-10 feet tall. And if someone was going to try to attack you, they would have come through that hedge, and you were considered to be protected. You had some defense against a downside or an attack. So the theory, when hedge funds first started, they were started to take protective positions against falls in the market and so forth, and they were considered to be a hedge, much like in the Middle Ages they would put up the hawthorn hedge. So there's your little bit of trivia as to where the name comes from. But anyway, the government has basically said, listen, you can do whatever you want, go have fun. One more thing is, a hedge fund is nothing more than a bucket of money. It's not it doesn't think for itself. It just sits there like a bank account. It takes people that are called investment advisors, who are licensed by the SEC and regulated by FINRA. It takes those people to guide the investments and make the decisions on behalf of all the investors. The hedge fund doesn't make its own decisions. The hedge fund has retained an investment advisory group to make decisions on its behalf. Tartan Capital Advisors, for instance, is an investment advisory, and we are in contract with Tartan Funds to make decisions on behalf of Tartan Funds and steer Tartan Funds. Anyway, there's your quick primer on what a hedge fund is and why they can invest in all kinds of interesting, unusual investments, because all the investors are accredited. Hope that was helpful. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks.